Broadband is an always-on, high-speed connection to the internet. Several types of technologies can be used to deliver broadband, including copper wires, coaxial cable, fiber optic lines, satellite, and mobile and fixed wireless networks. To make use of available broadband, users must be able to connect a device to a service. Examples of devices include a computer, a tablet, a smartphone, or an internet-ready appliance such as a TV, a camera, or a thermostat. Not all broadband services are equal. An important difference between services is the connection speed. Download speed is the measure of digital content that can be transmitted per second from the internet to a user's device. Upload speed is the reverse connection, the amount of digital content that can be sent per second from a user's device to the internet. The Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, defines a standard connection speed of 4 megabits per second down and 1 megabits per second up. Connection speed is a key factor in what users can do with broadband. For example, a 1 megabit download speed is adequate for most basic email applications and web browsing. Streaming movies and two-way gaming applications require at least a 6 megabit download speed. Applications for telecommuting, distance education, and telemedicine require download speeds in excess of 10 megabits per second. Factors that affect broadband availability. It is expensive to build and maintain any type of broadband network. Depending on the technology type and the size of the service area, the cost to build a network can easily reach hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more. Understandably, providers build in areas where sufficient demand will provide a return on their investment. Common factors that providers consider when choosing where to invest include population density, demand for services, and existing infrastructure that can be leveraged to support their network. Some locations, usually rural, qualify for federal and/or state subsidies, which can help lower the cost to connect harder to serve locations. Broadband makes a difference. To be effective and competitive in the 21st century global economy, businesses, organizations, and residents are discovering the need for a robust broadband connection. Whether you're a student participating in an online course, a doctor sending a digital X-ray image, or a local business trying to reach a broader market, broadband makes a real difference. Users without adequate access are not able to participate in the same online activities that users with adequate access can. Without adequate broadband, existing businesses are at a competitive disadvantage. Communities are less likely to attract new businesses. Residents are unable to participate in telecommuting and remote education opportunities. And local institutions, such as hospitals and local government, are not able to take full advantage of cost-saving activities such as electronic data sharing and teleconferencing. Barriers to accessing broadband. Even if an adequate connection is available, additional barriers remain. The first barrier is cost. Broadband isn't free. It costs money to subscribe to a broadband service. As you might expect, the higher the download and upload speeds, the more the service costs. And the cost of comparable services differs from location to location, depending on the carrier and technology type. A second barrier is having access to an internet-ready device. And a final barrier is having a working understanding of how to use the device. Applying broadband. Accessing broadband is not a goal, it's a tool. It's what can be accomplished with broadband that is a goal. There are thousands of ways broadband can be applied. The best applications depend on what the user is trying to do. For a student, the goal may be accessing information to study for an exam, write a paper, or prepare an assignment. For a senior citizen, the goal may be communicating with family, friends, or their doctor. For a small business owner, the goal may be reaching new customers or getting better data on market conditions. A common value of all broadband applications is the immediate ability to access data and communicate with others across any distance at a fraction of the time and expense it would take to do so otherwise. Being proactive. The first step to applying broadband to achieve any goal is having access. If you live in an area where adequate broadband is not available, there are things you can do. It's important to know the facts about the existing broadband services currently available to your community. Define why the current services are inadequate and what services you need today. as well as the foreseeable future. If you can describe what you can't do with available broadband, you will probably discover you're not alone. Other members of your community may have similar demand. Assemble a local working group to champion your community's broadband needs. A proactive step you can take is to document demand, building awareness in your community about what broadband is and why it's important. You might create more demand. Assess how many potential subscribers are in your area, what type of service they need, and how much they're willing to pay for it. Establish what community goals can be achieved if adequate broadband service were available. Goals might include improved educational opportunities for the community's youth, workforce development training for adults, recruit and retain businesses, or lower the cost of healthcare delivery. Constructively engage providers currently serving your community, as well as other providers who might be interested. Discuss your community situation with state and local elected officials. While you may not be able to build an adequate broadband network on your own, you can help build a compelling case for it to be built. The most effective case may be an economic case. Think about tomorrow. Since it became commercially available, a broadband connection to the internet has dramatically affected nearly every aspect of our society. The speed at which this fairly new technology has become critically important deserves our attention. Ample evidence suggests that being able to access and effectively use broadband will become even more important as it is woven into society structures like education, healthcare, civic engagement, government, public safety, economic development, to name a few. Increasingly, it appears that success, competitiveness, and sustainability of communities will rely on how well broadband is accessed and applied today, as well as in the future.